Hello, you masturbatory fantasies of an old dying postal worker. Jim Sterling here, and this is PooShooter. And you know that it's going to be a quality game, because if you look at the logo here, which is wobbling in all its glory, with textures that I think are supposed to look like poo, but are kind of chunky around the edges. So it looks more like Wheatos, the breakfast cereal Wheatos. I don't know if they're in America or if there's an American equivalent. Imagine like Cheerios, but sort of crumblier and chocolatey, and they're like brown all the way through and chocolatey. And Professor Wheato advertised them in Britain. Or a curly whirly that's been sort of smushed up into letters. Either way, it doesn't really look poo-like. I don't think. I don't have wrinkly poo that's all crinkly and crusty looking. But anyway, PooShooter. This made it through on Greenlight. There's a surprise. A game about literal shit going on Greenlight. And we will get to the game. I'm just fascinated by this whole front page. You can support them on Patreon. As a Patreon-supported entertainer myself, that's fine. If you want to support this, go ahead. Maybe you want to transfer support from me, if you do support the Jimquisition, and move it to the PooShooter developers. Wouldn't fault you for it. I would, if you do become a supporter, I would recommend that in future, when they put their logo on top of their game, they remove the artifacts around everything. You can mostly see this on the O that's got the targeting reticle on it and all the little splash effects around it. You can see on the little splash effects. Lots of jaggy little artifacts, like it's a bad JPEG that they haven't removed the background of. Let's press play. The bum is loading. Let's see what PooShooter is all about. Shall we? Still laying. How much does a hipster weigh 1 Instagram? Just reading the jokes on the wall. Things I hate, vandalism, irony, lists. I see. Lots of comedy things there on the walls to read if you get bored of the game. So having a drink of water before I start. Just got up. It's like 4 in the morning. Oh no, it's 5 now. Got up at 4 in the morning. Had to get some hardware ready for some hardware reviewing things I'm doing. Got to be a bit ambiguous because I'm not sure what I could say yet until I got the stuff. So right now, it just sounds like I'm being shifty because I got some dildos in or something, which is ironic for me because I wouldn't be shifty if I had dildos, I'd tell you all. I mean, you already know how many I've fucking got lying around. Should we just play? Let's just play. I don't know how to control it. Okay. Okay. That is obnoxiously loud. Okay, still loud. Obviously, I listen to things on headphones and I have the volume down low. So it's basically Space Invaders. Yeah, no matter how low I've got the volume here, this is the pits. Oh god, this golden toilet appeared while I was fucking turning the volume down. There we go, now I can barely hear it. That's good. The music is now completely inaudible. But I can't hear that big whoa anymore. Okay. Level 1 complete, level 2 loading. There's all our points there. I don't like the red toilets because the yellow just looks like vom. Like someone just saw a red toilet and was like, I'm going to be sick in that. I mean, I don't know what to make of the turquoise one. I guess that's just water. And then we've got the green stain for the blue toilet at the top, which is just... That's 90s. That's 90s level bog description. I remember used to get toilets, plastic toilets with green slime in them. Green slime, very popular in the 90s. People loved their green slime. Used to be appended to all sorts of toys when they were running out of ideas for their toy lines. So I went to check up on the studio before I started this, just because I wanted to make sure that I was not covering certain developers at the moment. And they do seem to be their own thing. But yeah, this is what Steam Greenlight voters saw as a good thing to buy. Steam asked them, would you buy this if it was on Steam? And people said yes. And it came out and it's got, I think, 3 reviews. Because people just vote. Because there's nothing at stake. You just vote. So we get these Greenlight games that a load of people say they'd buy. And they don't buy them. That's part of the reason why we get, you know, rubbish. Like this. This is actually quite rubbish. Okay, whatever. It's just the same level over and over again, isn't it? That's what it looks like. I don't like it very much. I love how the bases, unlike in Space Invaders, the little bases, the barriers blocking their shots, just get in the way of my shots. I don't actually have much room to shoot. It's a huge old ass. And, you know, it's pretty easy to get hit by the plungers. So it's like Space Invaders, but not, because Space Invaders is quite a good game. Okay. Well, it started us at level 3, that's kind of them. I literally couldn't tell the difference. There we go. That's different. That's definitely different. I can visually see that. The configuration. But it is still ultimately the same. Which, you know, the same could be said for old games like Space Invaders and the like, but they were like made in the 80s? Games like Space Invaders and Pac-Man and all that stuff. This wasn't. Not to use that current year argument that memesters on the internet love to discredit even when it's relevant. But it is 2016, my friends, and this isn't on, is it? I mean, even Space Invaders kind of upped its game in later years, you know. I thought I had space away from that plunger, but that is a big old wide ass. Yeah. Oh well, let's go again, shall we? Fucking hell. Actually, before starting this game, I set up my microphone, set up everything, just looked at the ground and just went, oh god. And I was right to do it. I mean, look how little space I've got to shoot without shooting my own base. And it's not like I make a little narrow path through the base like in Space Invaders. Okay. And then you've got to make sure they're not firing down these limited gullies. Like, it's not even funny. That's the main thing about this. It's not even funny. Yeah. You know, your poo's quite narrow, but your surface area, your hitbox is quite wide. So it's harder for you to knock the plungers out of the air and to shoot the toilets than it is for the plungers to take a life off you. The one saving grace is the poo is a little bit explosive, so I can't believe I said that as a thing. Poo's a little bit explosive, so if the toilets are like clustered, properly clustered, like on top of each other, then you will kill 2 toilets with 1 shit. Got ourselves a golden toilet, friends. And it's not like I'm against scatological humour. But you do need humour, if you get me. I walked into that plunger there. Oh my god, really? Right. Level 5, furthest we've gotten. That's the problem with this, is it's not poo jokes. It's not poo jokes, it's not toilet jokes, it's not arse jokes. It's just poo toilet's arse. It begins again. It begins again, yes it does. Busy day today. After this, I've got to prep a review for a game. Then I'm meeting with a doctor to discuss surgery for the old rupture in the back there. Fingers crossed that something gets done about it and we can finally put a cap on that. It would be nice if I could get out of 2016 with all the bullshit that made 2016 a fairly unpleasant year dealt with. Get rid of certain... how do I describe it? Certain bullshits going on and certain injuries going on. Has been a trying one these past 12 months. So not even 12 yet. 10 months. Technically 9 because October's just started, so 9 months and a bit. Look at that, look at us, we're becoming quite the expert at this shit now. At least they animated the bum kind of squashing as it contracts and then shoots out its fecal payload. It's one of those games you look at and you think, you know, YouTube fodder because poo and toilets and everything, and it's clearly not a great game. So you think there'll be a lot here to work with, but there isn't. Like, we've already seen the full extent of what this game does. And we saw the extent of that, from a mechanical sense, in the fucking 80s. When I was like 4 years old, I used to play Space Invaders in a pub on a table. It was like a table arcade machine. I used to play that when I used to go to the biker meetups. Not that I was a biker at 4 years old, but I come from biker stock. Talked about that before. I'm not getting that golden toilet, not worth the risk. That's the thing, when you're playing a game in which you're shooting clumps of explosive shit at JPEGs of toilets, you've got to learn to be tactical. Those two toilets were clumped together, but I only killed one. I swear I killed more than one with one shot once. I didn't that time. Brilliant. There we go. There we go. Apologies if I sound a bit bunged up this morning. That happens. Allergies and stuff. My body is in constant rebellion, which doesn't surprise me given the shit I put in it. And I'm not just talking about food, ha ha. That's a callback to the dildos again. Has it crashed? Oh, no, there it is. I guess the game was just, maybe, I like to think that the game took that pause to just think about what it's done. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, some games look designed for this, for YouTube video coverage, quite blatantly. I've talked about YouTube fodder in the past. Very common with horror games, you know. And some games do deliberately try and sell themselves on, haha, look how shit I am. Which, if you're actually witty, it can work. Not to toot my own horn, but that constitutes 90% of the garbage I put up on the internet. But there is a skill in the stylistic suck form of humour. as it's referred to on the old TV tropes there. This, I mean, you know, if you are designing yourself for YouTube, that's just gonna get us, yeah. Okay. What level are you starting us at? Oh, no, having a bit of a think again. There we go. I realised that there was that diarrhea counter in the bottom left, and I wasn't sure what that referred to. So I just hit enter. And it did that. Let's do it again. So we got 9 of those now. So that's something. If anybody cares. I'm sure many people will be... I did kill 2 definitely at one time then. I'm sure some people will have been frustrated by the fact that I was not curious enough to investigate that diarrhea thing. I knew the tab was there, I knew it when I first started. But I promptly stopped giving a shit, for want of a better phrase, about anything. And was completely incurious. Let's do a quick poll for anyone who hasn't turned it fucking off yet. Not that I'd blame you if you did. Who found the game funnier with the inclusion of diarrhea? Did that make the game more entertaining? To see the little brown circular JPEGs coming out. Oh, brilliant! When the level's completed, you can still take damage. That's brilliant. We did that flawless, but got fucked at the end there. Nice. Right, diarrhea 12. You fucking eat that. Oh, it's frozen again. That was a bit too intense for the game. There we go. No, you're right. You were right to struggle, game, because, you know, that's on par with fucking spawning 1,000 frag mines in Fallout and just letting them all, you know, appear in the game and explode at once. That, what we just did with the diarrhea, was just as taxing on the game. I mean, if you are going to make a game that's designed to get attention for being stupid, you've got to make it surprising. And there are no surprises here. It's one of those games where the joke is summed up in a screenshot of the game. And if the sum total of your game's entertainment value can be had in a screenshot, you're probably better off being a photo editor than a game developer. You see, we played the last video in this playlist before this one was Eve of Destruction Redux, which was hilarious. It never stopped being funny to me because weird broken shit kept happening. By the time tanks were halfway buried in the ground or trundling around upside down or just flipping out, or enemy soldiers were casually strolling past me while there was a firefight going on. Like, the amount of ridiculous bullshit that happened in that game made it a laugh riot from start to finish. This, we're at level 9 right here, and it's what? Just more diarrhea for everyone. That freezes the game, because it can't handle this level of visual effect. Well, that's fucking cleared them out, isn't it? I'm stopping once I take another hit. What's the point of anything?